What I remember was it was an immediate request. It wasn't a standby, which usually ups the urgency of what the call is.
All I remember is jumping out of the truck and running over to her, and Sean said he didn't see the scene, but I did, and it was very, very grim.
For the most part, I don't have that memory, just after what everyone has told me.
My cell phone started ringing. She said, "Mrs. Corby, does Whitney still drive a gray Suzuki?" "Yes." And she said, "Well, she's been in an accident." And that's about all I remember.
We took her approximately about a 15 minute flight just over the border to the closest trauma center, which was Robert Pecker Hospital in Sayre, Pennsylvania.
So then we got to the hospital, and it still hadn't really clicked. I just kind of expected I was going to walk in and we were going to go into her room and I was going to talk to her and we'd take her home the next day and everything would be fine. And the doctor said, "I'm telling you right now that if she had not been flown down here, she would not be here today." It was about 6 days. She was in a coma, and the night before she woke up, the doctor said, "I want to do one more MRI." And he came and he said, "I just need to tell you that you need to start to prepare, because this is not going to be good." So all of a sudden this nurse came running down the hall, "She's awake, she's awake." And we were like, "What?" She was in rehab for about 6 to 8 weeks.
Learning how to do everything all over again. When you're 18 years old and already know how to walk and not know how to do that is kind of really scary.
She learned how to walk again, talk, brush your teeth, everything that you take for granted. And it just made me really realize that life is precious and you have to just take every minute that you have.
So there were a lot of moments where I was like, I'm just gonna lay in bed today. But then I would lay there and be like, no, I'm not laying here the rest of my life. But I decided, hey, I wanna get everything together and go back to school and do nursing. And I was like, you know what, who better to do neuro than somebody with neuro?
2 years later, she walked across that stage, and I just remember her walking across the stage thinking, they told me to prepare to bury my child, and that if she did survive, she'd never walk, and all of this. And now she's a neuro nurse helping people, and she can honestly say, I know what you're going through, because she's been through it.
She is the incredible story, that without a doubt. One of the first things we did is we had her come out to an LZ class, and she wanted to come out and say thank you to some of the crews that were there. And the way that she doesn't feel sorry for herself, and the way she works towards her recovery, and she doesn't feel that anything can stop her. She's an inspiration. It is important for everyone to have access to critical care. We kind of bridge that gap, and we bring that critical care right to the patient and then take them to the specialty centers. So that's extremely important.
Knowing that I could have possibly not been saved is one of the most frightening things to have in the back of your head.
People need to hear these stories because they're real, and I truly mean it when I say that if it wasn't for them, she wouldn't be here. And to take that away or not be able to have that opportunity would just be awful, because I don't know what we would do if we didn't have her.